So this is Baruch Fleischman. I am here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. I am your very own Saba. I love to tell stories. I love this story right here. So this is the story of the prince who was made out of precious jewels. So you see how that Rav Shik in his Pirush, which was called the Nare, the rivers of a parsimon, of sweet perfume. So what is the perfume that he wants to say? Remember I said, thinking back to the last year, he says that the job of the tzaddik, God forbid, is not the curse. So somebody wants to say, why aren't the Kabbalists doing something about Saddam Hussein? Why aren't the Kabbalists doing something to curse, let's say, so to speak, Hamas? Why are they doing that? They have some power. Because the whole power of the tzaddik is the opposite. We understand this is the world that Hashem has born us into. It's not necessarily a nice place. Remember that Cain killed Abel. Right? It's a nasty world. It's a world of the generation of a flood, and a world that lived in idolatry and all kinds of bad things, and a world bathed in the blood of the innocent. When you're dead, you don't talk. So this is the world that we're born into. The question is how do we make the connection? So this is a story about the prince who was made out of gems. Let's go on to the rest of the story. Let me see if I can find a place. So in the last one, we said that how it is that really HaKadosh Baruch Hu, banking the prayers of the tzaddikim, the Jewish people, is able to bring bound shefa, which will cause a new birth. So he said, "V'yolda Rabbi Malchut bas." So the queen, she gave birth to a daughter. Here we are, right here. So this, what is the daughter? The daughter represents a concept in Olam of Atzilus, which is Atzel means right next to the Ein Sof. It is a garment. Atzilus is a garment built out of different channels, which are called spheros. We call them midos because they channel and change the nature of the light of the Ein Sof as it passes through them. The most penimis dik and most inside part of that is called Olam Atzilus. Then there's Olam Abriya, and then there's Olam Yitzira, and Olam Asiya. And we're the Yisiya, the Malchus of the Malchus, the Siya of Asiya. So he says like this, V'yolda Malchut bas. The Malchut gave birth to a daughter. Now in this case, I would say that probably the concept of the king and the queen would be Chochmah and Bina. So the Chochmah says to the Jewish people, you got to pray. You got to find somebody who really could get you to pray, because without that, the world would go stagnant. It will be just the Gentiles killing each other, whoever's going to be on top at that time. These are our fantasies that we get involved with. So we're talking about the interface between the most high, the most closest aspect of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu to us is called Malchus. Because all of the rest of the Olamos, and we've said before, the word Olam, which we translate normally is to mean universes, but it also means hiddennesses. Hiddennesses. That is that the concept that before man who's sitting here now, like me, I'm sitting talking, something previous to that. There's an neshama. There is something that's non-physical about us as well, reflected in the breath that comes out of our mouths. So he says, Oyotzim Olamos, and the names of the Olamos, these hidden worlds, are Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya. We are in the most hidden world. Now the bas, the daughter, refers to Malchus. Now keep track of this, it's very Kabbalistic. So this daughter was extremely beautiful. This talks about the general concept of the nations of the world. You read this in Malchus because a Malchus, this is a concept we have to understand. Malchus at nighttime, the Malchus of Atzilus, goes down into the lower worlds to try to make unity with different aspects of this world, which has become polluted as a result of the sins of our fathers. So he says, Shehi Bechinas Bas, this is this daughter that goes out. And because of that she is an aspect of the most pure, of the most kind, beautiful. Since she's an aspect of that, everybody wants to see her, who wants to be close to it. It's like taking a light and sticking it into a coal mine. All the miners down there in the coal mine want to get by that light because it's black in there. The tunnel reminds me of the tunnels of Hamas. So he said, Yafas Torah, she was because this is something called chen, shenimsa achshav etzel umas olam, which Rabbi Nachman says that now the chen of the world, we look up to the goyim. That's what it means. The grace of the world. It's they that have it. Shabbat machmas nefilas malchus. And why does this happen? Because Malchus is down here. That is the Malchus. He's saying the Malchus of the Tzilus, clothed and clothed and clothed and clothed, all the way down to where we are, is here, in our midst, in our neshamas. Is when she had was 4 years old. So these are the, he said like this, in every world is a duplicate, only further away from the light. Every world is a duplicate. So therefore, all of the different holomos that we talk about, these hidden worlds, they all have a malchus, they have 10 spheres, each one of them has 10 spheres, shal chadalat olamos. So this is the bas arbashanim. So that's the 4. She got to a place where we're incorporating this light, the light of the Ein Sof, and the malchus of Ein Sof is now down in all of the 4 worlds. She was able to do, she had an ability of every kind of wisdom because she's a what's the right word? Not conglomerate, that she's a combination of many, many things that pour into her. She knew how to play musical instruments, so for Rapshis say. So this is all the different kinds of festivals and the holulos, celebrations that the gentles had. And all of those things happen as a result of the fall of Malchus. Because Yodaz called her Lashonos, so she knew all the languages, that she had within herself all of the 70 worlds. Shalashivim, almost of the 70, excuse me, I said the wrong word. Jazet Klal Hashivim Lashonos, that she knew 70 languages. In other words, the Panimia, she was Panimi to all the manifestations that take place in the Gentiles. Shalashivim, almost of the 70 nations. And kings came from all of the different countries just to see her. Because all of the everything that exists. But he writes, Kol ha'umos, all of the nations of the world, the 70 nations, Sharsham b'malchus, they have a root in malchus. So they became a tremendous joy for the king. Shanivru, that is the melech that was created. Because the truth is like this. Let me see if I can read this again. Try to get it going a little bit better. Because they all wanted to come to see the gem, that even though they are very, very far away and they're stuck and completely merged with false ideas, but they originally came out from Malchus. They have a root in Malchus. A simcha gedolah was a tremendous joy. Al hamelech shenivra ki be'emes be'esa geula l'kulim tihiyah, because the fact that they were created and they now can see this light that there was a light somewhere in the dark tunnel. V'yikayim l'sakein olam b'malchus shatai, in order to be able to rebuild the world. B'malchus shakai. Now this is a phrase which really means rebuilding the world as a result of yichud, the yichud of malchus with yisod. So be able to sakein the olam. How do they rebuild the world? By making a yichud between malchus and shakai. V'kol b'nei basi yikru b'shmecho, and then it says that all of the children of flesh and other humankind, yikru b'shmecho, they'll all be called by your name. Rak haroshu ha'amalek, but only one part. This is the part that's special for Jewish people. Is that we have an indomitable enemy. It's the nation, a son, a grandson of our brother who hates us, who's called Amalek. He's the one that lights the fire that burns the Jews at the stake. He's the one that inspires the Crusades, so that you have a band of people coming through your village. Could be 1,000 people, and they know where the Jews live. That could be Amalek. Rak ra kol hayom, and they're only bad from the beginning to the hate that is inside of him is only bad. Who yimache legamri, they will be completely and totally wiped out. We call umas ha'olim shesharshem b'Amalek, so all of the nations, any nations, that have a root in Amalek, yimachol min ha'olim, in the end, they will disappear. They will be wiped out from the world. But the rest of the nations that are not, so we could think real quickly, just look at Europe. I mean, just try to think where Amalek is in Europe. Anybody ever hear the name Torquemada? All of these people who did such tremendous evil to the Jewish people and inspired such tremendous massacres and just terrible evil, Aval Shar Amumath, they will be gone. But all the rest of the Ummahs, Kulam Yachzru Lov Yisbarach, they'll find a way to get back to Hashem. They'll see the light in the tunnel. V'yukuyim, and they'll fulfill this puzzle. Ki oz afach es amim safa barua, I will turn the nations around to a clear tongue, clear lip. The crow kulam b'shem Hashem, that all of them should be able to call in the name of Hashem, v'avdu shchem echad, to serve Him in oneness. V'achakach nichsachem melech ma'od, and then after the melech yishayi lo ben, but then the melech became concerned. He wanted to have a son. He said, "Kadei shelo tihya museves malchuso leish zar." So that this kingdom that is created here will not go over to a foreign entity, foreign country, foreign family. This is Baruch Fleischman, and this is another shiur in this story about the prince made out of precious jewels.